Yo. Heading to Overland Expo East. You know, the main reason to go is, great opportunity to see. Actually, the first is hang out, meet people who, love glamping to the level that, we do, and check out their rigs and setup and lessons learned. And then there's the opportunities to directly meet with vendors, see their products or see things that you haven't considered, or in our case, there's certain things we're looking for, and then here's a chance to see, firsthand, touch things that we think would benefit our glamping experience. Well, Overland Expo 2025 has come and it's done. This year was the best year in the past 3 times that I went. Every time I've gone in the past, it has rained, and there has been a lot of mud, and in the end, a positive experience. But 3 days of amazing weather definitely added to the experience. 2025 was a smaller crowd than past years. In the past, Friday was when I would arrive. It was definitely packed on Friday, and definitely wasn't that this year. And why is that? I don't know. So, anyways, this year not as crowded. What is overlanding? I think there's a spectrum. We could say there's overlanding, which is, to me, is just camping with a vehicle, with an off-road vehicle. But I want to be more. I want to add more. So there's overlanding, there's car camping, glamping, and then just regular camping. With a tent, backpacking, all this stuff. That could be one spectrum. Like people who want to stay overnight outdoors. There's camping, backpack, or we could say backpacking, car camping. Take it, glamping is like a flavor to all of that. Really comfortable, and then you can say there's overlanding. And the key is you have a vehicle. And maybe what's the difference between car camping and overlanding? A more less pavement experience potentially. But if you get into overlanding, then you get into the vehicle, which is fun because it's gear. And then you'll go there's this thing called off-roading / wheeling, which is really purpose building your vehicle to navigate pretty cool, crazy obstacles. You will damage your vehicle. You you get to even less fuel efficient range isn't a concern. It is the ability to traverse extremely complex, challenging terrain. So that's wheeling, off roading. The other one, rock crawling. Yeah, really low range gears, extreme tire size. There's that. And so one, you could say in overlanding, the concern is off-road vehicle, long endurance range. Ideally 400 plus miles. 600 would be wonderful in terms of unsupported range for gas. Where wheeling is not as concerned about fuel efficiency, but it is for the technical ability to just navigate complex stuff. So people like to rock crawl or off road, but they go camping. Well, I guess they're overlanding also. And then, and even in the wheeling rock crawling, there is, and I'll use the word like Baja perspective, is that these are rigs that are designed to go really fast off road. Like, so they're off road capable, but they have really robust suspension, compliant suspension, so that they can haul off road at high speeds. And so there's a Baja race where that has driven the technology, and like the Ford Raptor or the Bronco Raptor or anything from the 49 Raptor, it is a nod to that type of off roading. Wider, be a vehicle with ability to just go fast off road, where rock crawling is definitely slow, lower gear, climb up over anything. And then, so you take any of that stuff, and I guess if you go camping, you stay overnight, you're in this overlanding territory. So, I mean, I I consider myself a glamper, uh, and and I would say overlanding. If you're on this side of this, it can be hard. Where people say it's hard. So what would make it hard? So to be a true overlander, in my view, you're definitely going somewhere out, remote. You can't have support, and your end user skill set needs to be like level 3. Like, so I see myself as at most a tier 2 mechanic, if there was such a thing. So level 1 is like, hey, basic auto maintenance. You can change the oil, check fluids, check tire pressure, replace a flat, maybe repair a flat like a puncture or something like that. You can just do the basics, right? uh Tier 2 is like, you can whip out tools, uh swap out parts, deal with like basic engine peripherals, replace a starter, radiator, water pump. You can do basic troubleshooting and simple repairs of the major subsystems. Uh, but tier 3 is definitely like serious troubleshooting beyond running the codes, or uh, you know even including welding, whatever it may be. But true overlanding requires like legit uh, uh, automotive mechanic plus skill set, because you need to be able to make repairs out remote. So that's how extreme those conditions are. You're not where you can just get water, or walk out and find help. So that is like a really, I think, small population. So that's like, yeah, that's like real hardcore overlanding. But most of us, and overland, I call it, we do glamping, right? Now if you're backpacking, that's like the hard stuff, because you're walking and you're really making trade-offs, right? Of what you can do from water, food, comfort, warmth, anything. So backpacking is hard, but I've always called it you know you're in the range of car camping, glamping. I mean, you have freezers for your food and refrigerators. You, it's part of the fun. You got gadgets for everything. I mean, I got a microwave in my vehicle. I got air conditioning. We love dispersed camping. We love going down fire roads, pretty remote stuff. I've leveled up to, since I'm old, 50 plus. The van. Just how do you get your wife overlanding? There's a seminar you could take at the expos. They have classes for everyone. And there was one I remember last year. How do you get your spouse or wife into overlanding? And I'll tell you how you do that. You get a van. Get a van, and your spouse and dog will love overlanding. That's how you do it. So give up your rig and get a van. So anyways, I call it glamping. And there's another spectrum. So we talked about overlanding, glamping, car camping, to camping, backpacking, you know, rock crawling, wheeling, uh, but you camp, so you're overlanding. And then I just use the term Baja, like hauling ass off road. like ripping across the Sahara Desert or long things, and then you camp, you're overlanding, right? But a lot of it, but there's another, and I should have mentioned it, but it's called RVing, where you're just driving pavement. That's where you go. RV parks, you plug in power, water, or whatever, and that's a different community in itself. It's like I don't relate to it as much. Like an RV park, you can go swimming pool, playground, washer, machine dryer. I mean, just got everything. Shop, store. Every amenity, and and it can be fun, but that's not my mix. And I'll mention that because at Overland Expo, you kind of get the full spectrum of that, like the luxury, I mean, $1 million, 900, 700K plus rigs. They're really pushing into the RV territory, which is really just like a house. And you can see some of that. The cool thing about Overland Expo is just the gear. You get to talk to the vendors firsthand, which is invaluable. They have a knowledgeable representative. You just lay out your use case, what you're trying to do. They give you answers, or if you have a product, you can give them feedback, or you'll see stuff you've never seen before, or something to tickle your imagination. You just don't buy stuff. Uh, Only go out and do, and then when you find an actual gap, like, oh, I wish I would have had this, or you're actually experiencing something, and you have the need, and maybe you let it happen a couple times or whatnot. Well, then acquire gear, right? Experience the gap, then fill it, is the advice I would echo. uh, because you'll see stuff and you're like, oh, that's neat, oh, that's cool, and then you end up wasting money. So experience the gap, and then fill it. Set your requirements and then fill it, and you will have a more productive, cost saving experience in this world. And so you're going to Overland Expos to fill a gap. Uh, the next thing that I think is really important is, and I always say, what is your requirement? And there's another spectrum of mobile tent or a mobile home. Like, what are you looking for? A mobile tent or a mobile home? So the RV is like the mobile home experience, right? You're going somewhere, you're driving something, you're gonna park it, and you want a home, meaning part of your experience of getting out there is sitting in a container and hanging out like you're at home. Or if you're the mobile tent, and I'm a hardcore mobile tent person, is I want adequate shelter because I'm going out somewhere to have an experience in that environment. I'm going out there to bike, to hike, to be outside. The container or the mobile tent is just there to be more efficient, and allow me to bring more ridiculous stuff. I can glamp hardcore and just enjoy the outdoors, right? So the reason it's really important is when you're looking at stuff, uh, you'll see things like, oh, it'll be like, oh, you think you want it, but then you gotta go, wait. I'm not driving way out into the middle of the woods to hang with my friends in a vehicle and play Monopoly or hang out and chill inside. Yeah, you do that when it's winter and it's horrible weather. You're going out to go skiing somewhere. Yeah, but do I want to pay the thousands of dollars to be in a mobile home? Like, so if that's what you want, you're going to pay for it. Just know it. But if you're on this side of mobile tent, then you got to lock in and know where you fit in, because a lot of things you'll see, you got to go like, oh, I mean, it's cool, it's compelling, it's innovative. Uh, but you got to go like, oh, wait, what are my use cases? Mine is cycling, cross country skiing, and hiking, and it's everything outdoors. I just want to have something, the mobile tent that I could drive, don't have to spend tons of time setting up, and I get to hang out. And my overlanding experience is always outside the vehicle. The vehicle there it's my mobile tent. So that I find really helps when you go to these venues and you're looking at all this cool stuff uh, and know where you are on the spectrum. Know where you are on the spectrum. Anyways, so that's it. So I will not be going to Overland Expo probably for a few years. I have another fun project, but I definitely won't be using the heck out of my vehicle. But that's another topic. But anyways, yeah, if you get a chance, check out Overland Expo on YouTube. They have all the regional ones. If you're on the East Coast, highly encourage you to check out Overland Expo East. I think it's worth the money, whatever way you go in. Day pass, camping pass. We wanted to do the premium or the really deluxe one. In theory, a shorter walk. They were sold out this year. So, anyways, have fun, be safe. Catch you later.